haven't seen you guys in a while. I'm back with another episode of I Don't Have All the Answers. It's your girl, April. Yes, sir, just like that. And this episode, you all, I'm so excited to be talking about this because kind of based on one of my favorite artists, okay? So a lot has been going on. April has been kicking off with a bang. So that means that I do have some content coming to you guys now. If you follow my Instagram, you would have seen that I did the Epcot drinking around the world recently. I caught Kanye's show in LA at the SoFi Stadium. And I jumped out of an airplane. And so far, that has been the highlights of my April. Some other things have gone on too that I'm very excited about, but those three things right there really got the party started. So, I am still on the high from my very first week of the month. I cannot even believe how good I feel naturally just based on everything that has been going on in my life that has been invigorating for me, right? Okay, so that is pretty much the common thing because when Kanye's show went viral, there was this whole big discussion about redemption and what that looks like, right? And initially, this episode, I was going to talk about something that had to deal with parenting and your children. But I decided to pivot since I was now a part of that crowd that still supports Kanye even after all he has said or done in the public, right? Personally, when it comes to this Kanye thing, it's almost like talking about politics because it's really just all in your personal beliefs and what you believe in. How do you feel about redemption, forgiveness, and those things like that? Personally, Kanye, outside of being an artist, in my opinion, and I'm pretty sure people don't agree with this, but he didn't really do anything that bad. And some of the things that he spoke on, once you really listen to what he was saying, he wasn't wrong. He just pissed off the wrong group of people. And those people have a lot of power and they decided to chop him off at the knees. When I see things like this, it kind of reminds me of those tropes that you hear about in fables, the Bible, and etc. About how it's like David versus Goliath, right? So in situations like that, it's like when I look at Kanye as this artist that has gotten much bigger, at least that's how I see it. He's gotten much bigger than his artistry, right? He's much more than just a rapper, or he's much more than just, a performing artist or whatever category you want to put him in. He has evolved into something else. And to see a Black person in the space that he is in and still fighting, it motivates me and inspires me to keep fighting against a system that has been known to disadvantage us in a major way. So that made me think about certain people in my life, I guess, and their way or road to redemption in my life, and if I should even allow that. Like, okay, if I can forgive, again, Kanye, he didn't do anything to me personally, so I don't have a personal gripe against him, and he hasn't done anything to children that I know of. No weird stories or rumors about him being abusive or just not good for women or Black women in particular. And so because I don't see any of that, I can't put him in the same category. I can't put him in the same category as a Diddy or an R. Kelly, so to speak. All right? Okay. However, there are people in my life, and I'm pretty sure it's people in your lives that either you could never forgive them or you have learned to forgive them or redeem. Forgiveness is one thing, but redemption, I believe, is something totally different. And again, this part of the conversation is really just my opinion, because redemption to me involves a person reclaiming that space in their life, in your life. So, say if it was a friendship or some type of friendship that was severed for whatever reason. Maybe the reason now that you all have had your distance seems petty, so redemption seems like the thing to do, right? Or how you, I guess, get over the situation or process your way through that situation. And then there are others that if you're seeking redemption, you're going to have to get it from the man upstairs or Allah or, Confucius. I don't know who you believe in, but whoever it is, you got to get that up to him. You got to take that up with him or her, because that is not on me. See, forgiveness involves some level of forgiveness, in my opinion, involves some sort of, like, I don't know, like a special level of spirituality that for many people, because the people who I deal with or who have put me in the so for the people who are in the unforgivable spaces, those atrocities, for lack of a better word, fall under the category of this is a bigger situation. This is above me now. Once I let the situation go, again, that is above me now. You want forgiveness, you're going to have to seek that from a higher power, because forgiveness is divine. I don't really truly believe in forgiveness in the way that I guess it's been kind of preached to us or taught to us socially. I believe in redemption, which is different. If Now they may have similar meanings in the dictionary or whatever, but for me, redemption, like I said, it involves a person reclaiming that space in your life, and everybody does not get to come from that. So how do you process that? As a person who needs redemption in certain cases, I would not be upset if that person never came around to it. If I did something to hurt somebody, I may feel bad about it. I probably ain't no may. I'm going to feel bad about it. I don't like hurting people. I do not like hurting the people who I care about. I don't like hurting the people who I once cared for. But sometimes shit happens and you get hurt. And depending on how bad my involvement is in hurting someone and why I chose to hurt them, I don't even really need your redemption or your forgiveness, because it works both ways too. A lot of times when I have cut off people that have hurt me, it has benefited me. It was never a disservice to me. What is that thing where they say, well, you give it to God, you kind of let go and let God or whatever? That's pretty much what I've learned to do. And it's really easy for me to disassociate myself from people who have really harmed me, right? And for some people, that's damaging. Like that, it's like a lack of empathy. But here's the thing, I don't lack empathy at all. And I don't think people like me lack empathy either. They just have more empathy and love for themselves that they can't allow for these people who have hurt them to come back into their lives to repeat the process all over again. Like I said, some offenses are forgivable or them is redeemable a word? Redeemable, and then others are not. What category do you fit in? What categories have you placed people in? Are there people who can never come? They've done something so great, is no coming back, or is it some people where now so much time has passed, it's let bygones be bygones? I realize that this is not that serious. But is it coming back to being kumbaya like how it was before, or does the relationship change because now you've looked at that, you look at that person differently? So now that you look at that person differently, how, again, what is their, role or space in your life? So that's how I took that whole Kanye situation, and just was thinking about how that applies to my life. And do I sound like a hypocrite by siding with him, knowing that many of my people, because these are not my peers, these are just people who are of my same race, who seem to be hurt by some of the things that Kanye has said, does it make me less? I mean, I'm asking these questions out loud, but to be honest with you, I don't really care. I made the choice to go alone, to celebrate and show up for one of my favorite artists, and I don't care who feels any type of way about that. For you people who hate Kanye, this is not for me to change your mind. I had my experience with my favorite artist that nobody can ever take away from me, and you know, and you all have your relationship with your artist. I'm the type of person that is extremely passionate about music and the people who create it. So, I guess it's easy for me to detach, or not detach. It's easy for me to separate the artist from the crime, I guess. I don't know. I think sometimes when certain things hit too close to home, that's when it's a problem. Especially when it comes to these celebrities. In the instances of domestic violence, any instance where you have been a freaking pedophile, any instance where you have drugged or manipulated women or men, for your advantage. Anything that has to do with rape, killing, anything like that. Yeah, I can't support none of that. But if you're going against the system, how can I not support that? You're like a modern day superhero, really. You fit the prototype of their protagonist character. I know I'm really hoping I'm using the words properly. And yeah, and that's all I have to say about that. I will go see Kanye every show he has if possible, right? Because every show is going to give you a different experience. The show that he added that was on April 1st was nothing like the show that I experienced on April 3rd. And I like that for me. So shout out to Kanye. Like, keep fighting against the system. It looks good. It looks really, really good on you. I don't have nothing to say against the mental health aspect of it, but I like how people like to pick and choose who they give the mental health passes to. And I guess that's a conversation for another day. Y'all, again, I am so excited. Stay tuned to all of the content that's coming down the pipeline. Like I said, April has been extremely busy, so your girl has a lot of work to do. I may come back and drop another episode this week. I don't know. Y'all might get lucky. You may not. I don't know. I got a busy week coming up. Oh no, I just had midterms. I got to prepare for finals. It's just a lot of stuff going on in my personal life that I'm very excited about. And I want to get you all excited about it too. Again, I need you guys in those comments because this is how this series works. I don't like talking to myself. Like, okay, I am a sane person. I like to have the conversations with the people. And since we are not live and I don't have a live studio audience as of yet, this is how we do it over here. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is another episode of I Don't Have All the Answers. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share to all the things. If you are not following me on my socials, because that is the easiest way to see some of my content in real time, and that's on Instagram on my new page, abrook202, and my TikTok is abrook202. I should be dropping my skydiving content, the Kanye content, and my drinking around the world at Epcot content sometime soon. Just to warn you all too, just really quick, the editing takes a lot of time. So just stick with me, be patient. The episodes are coming. And yeah, just stay tuned. It only gets better from here. Again, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you for watching and see you next time. Bye.